Coach. Thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
They'll run on first down. Jefferson. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
First down, Browns. 180. No gain on that defense. No gain. What? Hey, 133.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off on the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Check.
Now they try the right side here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on second and 13. Working out of the gun, Rivers. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Snap 180. I'm coming. Check 43. Behind. Left right. Behind.
Third and short yardage. Rivers nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on fourth down. They're indeed going for it. It's Rivers going up top. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing the ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Set, ready? 70, Indy.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
What's the old adage, partner? Don't judge the book by its cover, because this guy, he takes a mantra that he'll go down with a brisk gust of wind and sets it on its head. Great effort there to break a tackle and come up with a nice gain.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. To throw on 2nd and 6. Mayfield. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Mayfield. That's complete right around the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
They'll try and run this. It's Pumphrey, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Brett Maher on for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. From the gun, Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Rivers. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On fourth, they'll go again and try it once more. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on fourth down? Rivers to throw it. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
Hey, exit. Hurry!
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. This one caught by Isabella. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to over.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Marr on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Browns 14, Ravens nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Rivers nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. After the sack on 1st down, Rivers, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. That's into the hands of Edwards. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to make it 4th down. Rivers is going to stay out there. They're going to try for this thing on 4th down. Rivers to throw for it on 4th. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Myles Garrett. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in touchdown, Cleveland. Andy Isabella, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4th. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun. Rivers. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And it's taken in at the 9. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the 39, Mayfield. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On 2nd and 9. Rivers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw, Rivers. And he's going to go down again. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. That's pulled in at the 32. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Mayfield now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
From the gun, Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Mike. Regular. Hey, echo.
And again, it's Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction. So now what can they do on third? He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Check. Hey, go Orange. Orange, look.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. To the air again here, Rivers. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain. Stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Rivers. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Rivers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Rivers. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Red Delta! Buffalo. Get him!
Throwing, Rivers. And the pressure gets to him again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw is Rivers. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Squeeze, double. Check 59. Mike is 59.
Mayfield. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up
Point it right,
second
point it
down.
right, point it right. Alert, 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 alert. Jim.
Hey, watch the edge, watch the edge.
Hurry. What's up?
Second and 5 now. Mayfield, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tyus Bowser able to record his 5th sack of the season. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. To throw, Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
But it's 4th down.
Here's Jamie Gillen now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rivers under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Load it.
3rd and long for Rivers. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Chandler Jones has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Good. 180.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On 1st down, Jefferson. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
At the 26-yard line.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple of weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Orbit. Joker. Hurry.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The kick by Marr is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Throwing Rivers. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 34. From the gun, Rivers. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Exit.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Browns, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.